I should definitely... I mean, if Mimi is gonna tune in, I mean, she's also always more than welcome, so... At the moment... Dude, we're just vibing. We're just vibing at this point. I know, right? But I did add another mod that I forgot to load up with the previous session, which is the Nazgore mod, which basically makes things a little bit more splooshy. Fucking, oh my god. Fucking lost souls or pain elementals. I fucking hate them. I'm not taking that. Fuck it, I'm not taking that. Dude, seriously, 5 archfiles in an area where I just killed the entire fucking thing? Are you kidding me? Oh yeah, indeed. Who the hell needs the newer Dooms when you got this one? You can just mod this in any way you like, and then, you know, it's way cool. You can, virtually speaking, play Doom's The Dark Ages in Doom 2, or through Doom 2 if there's a mod for it. And I'm sure that people will mod it eventually. Let's say to Red, what's up? Welcome in. And hey, Chaplain. Sorry, I did see you. I thought you finished your D&D session, but I do hope you had fun with that. Which class do you play, though? Yeah, they will. Like when 2016 was a thing, there's a thing that you can already pick up already. for quite some time now that you could play this thing, for example, this mob, but then with the Doom 2016 weapons. But same with the Doom Eternal things. So yeah, don't worry about that. Also, goddammit, Isabel, the party poppers are way too fucking loud. Oh, that's a lot of shit that we have to deal with. But what have you guys been up to on this lovely Wednesday? Speaking of which, Wednesday, usually Zen doesn't stream, but she is streaming. But yeah, what have you guys been up to? Which games have you guys been playing besides Monster Hunter? But let's see. Final Fantasy, also hated carrots. Play more Monster Hunter, yeah, figured. Age of Wonders, never played any of those games. Is that one of those strategy games where things are like in very, like, how would I say it? With specific areas that you can, like, you have a giant map and then there's these hexagons that you then conquer and shit like that and stuff like that. Like, I don't really like those kind of strategy games. Turn-based, oh god. Alright, let's see. The Summoner, Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds. Those are all games that I haven't heard of. Pick your own race, turn-based army battles that is also turn-based. Okay. Get to build your own city, upgrade, recruit units. Alright, cool. Purple plasma. You don't like the purple plasma? You don't like the purple pew-pews? Also, Hidden Nox, what's up? Come in. Playing God of War. Is it to out your frustrations? Of what happened yesterday in Smash for the last match? See, I know that the yellow door is here. Question is, normally these maps are played without jumping, so that's why I'm trying not to cheat my way into this thing. So how would I get up there? Let's see. Not much going on. If we're talking about games, we're playing... I've been playing Gungrave Gore recently. This was Harpalight Break. What are all these games that I've never heard of, though? Oh, wow. There's a little mini intermission story thing. You could do cyber demons dream of demonic sheep. Do they? Now that's actually an interesting question. Do they? The classic Stalker games on your PlayStation then, or what? Oh yeah, Armies of Vtuber. Yeah, that game. That game is really cool. You should play it sometime, Quan. Speaking of which, Marcus, have you installed Armies of Vtuber already? Yeah, it's really fun, but yeah, I do feel like playing Age of Empires later today. Problem is though with Age of Empires, it really sucks though that you cannot like download the mods, as in like the quirky mod that we play. So is there really no way for you to get that mod? It would be really cool if that would be a thing. Oh, speaking of which as well, I feel that now that I see like certain Reddit articles here or Reddit post, whatever, um, I see that there have been some fan-made things for Age of Empires where you can customize your civilization. And I feel like at some point, whenever the Age of Empires 2 devs are going to be running out of civilizations, then they're going to probably make something like build your own civilization thing where you have a certain amount of points that you can use to upgrade or to buff or to specialize in certain things. Because way back in the day, for those that remember this one game called Empire Earth, which is something that I also played, which is basically like classic Age of Empires on steroids. So so that had a civilization creator thing that you could play, like in skirmishes. So I feel like they could also do that with Age of Empires too. Yeah, imagine that. More speed and RAMs, please. Um, I am wondering. Wait, Marcus, you like if you go to Age of Empires multiplayer thing, do you also see servers but then with mods? Like, do you have the exact same server results as we do? Because if you do, that's basically how I got my mod, or as in the mod that we play, with the quirky 10 times bonus thing. I was just looking around on the server browser thing, and I saw that people were using that mod, and I just joined them. Not necessarily play a game, but join the lobby, and then normally you should be getting a prompt. Sometimes it takes a while, but you should be getting a prompt of, do you want to download this thing? And then, you know, just say yes, and then you have the mod. So I would like check whether or not you can also do that um for the, like through the server browser, and see if you can find like modded lobbies like that. There was so much shit in there I couldn't move. Oh my god, this fucking map pack is so fucking creative though, what the hell. But Baz, do take care, alright? Thank you so very much for tuning in. Indeed, Hack, indeed. Okay, note to self. So there is a game over thing, not necessarily when you die, but there's a time limit, I think. Hey there, monkey. What's up? First Gecko I've seen in the wild? Really? I mean, considering the free mall thing that Zem has released to all of us, to the World Wide Web, so to say, You would imagine that there would be way more to say, but welcome in. Yeah, exactly. You can use this model, like as in, there's a lot of customization options that you can do. So let me just show you. So thing is, I did customize mine with the colors. So this is basically uh, the default one, like this. So like if you download the thing and you throw it into VTube Studio, like this is the default one that you get. But there are triggers that you can do or that you can use um, to personalize your gecko, basically. But yeah, considering that I'm the chambermaid, then of course I have to go with the maid outfit. But then, yeah, there's like different triggers that you can use to customize things. And if you know how to work, well, more or less how to color things in VTube Studio, which took me just a little bit to work with. I just did it on the fly yesterday. You can basically see that this entire model is created in segments so that each part moves individually from one another. And then you can color those parts and then you can basically, color it in any way you want. Well, almost anyway. It really depends on what the model's base colors are. And that's basically a little bit of know-how of colors on how to, or which colors can be modified, so to say. I used to work like in some kind of a graphical thing a long time ago. And yeah, it was like with color, like learning colors and all that shit, which sounds like really weird or really simple and mundane, but there's actually a lot more to it. And yeah, some colors just like are better to be overlapped with other colors to mix it. Other colors are like that and others aren't. So with this one though, I've noticed that the back, or the hair in the back rather, is a bit difficult to work with white for some reason. So I had to turn it to black. Edit JDP, what's up? I'll say it easy. But yeah, the Gecko, if you guys want to use it, you can. Just scroll a little bit down in the About info or on this page thing. And you will see a link to the Gecko thing. So if you scroll all the way down, wait, why is it? Never mind, it's on the top. Normally it should be on the bottom. But yeah, there you go. It's on the top at the moment. Where if you click on that image thing, the free Gecko model, if you just click on that, then you get like a Google Drive thingy that you can download, and then throw that model into your models folder for VTube Studio, and that's it. By the way, you know what's crazy though, if you think about it, was this basically how people saw the 80s? Not pixelated or anything, but like this theming, so to say. Was this the era of the 80s? I remember back when my dad used to work in the American Air Base, that there were these arcades and they actually had a floor like this. Like that was so trippy, that was so cool. But cheese, do take care, alright? Thank you so very much for tuning in. Dude, like how crazy... Also, Isabel, for fuck's sakes. Stop with your fucking party popper things. Also, hey to Julie, what's up? But how creative do you have to be to literally make a cigarette pack and cigarette through sectors? Like that is so tedious to do. Also, fuck it, Isabel. Like I'm gonna have to mod Isabel for just a bit, just to tone down the volume of that party popper because oh my god, it's so loud. But indeed, Quan, we are very synthwavy, very synthwave doom guy. Okay, I just fucking realized, oh my god, like how creative can these dudes be? This is exactly what I mean with how creative Doom coding can be. So I didn't realize this is literally a fucking claw machine. I didn't even realize that yet. And with the claw machine, I got the VFG'd. Wait, you need all 6 keys? There's 6 keys in his thing? What do you mean 6? Okay. Never mind. So if you try to go through, you just instantly die. We're going to the beach. I hate them, Pete. Like, again, and seriously, how creative can you be? See, again, this is why Doom modding definitely needs to be something that people, you know, should be aware of. Like, this is, like, in order to create this, you basically need 3D floors. Or not even, wait, they didn't even use 3D floors. They're just using textures, then it's elevated those textures to those heights. Fuckhead lol. Oh my god. And then this here, the sandcastle thing, which is cute as hell, by the way. Oh, look at that. It's a little sandcastle. But yeah, these are basically textures. These are all individual lines, so each side that you see is a line. And then they just draw it like that on the map in that shape. And then they add texture to it, both the front and the back, and then they just basically drag that up to the certain height that they specified here, and they just did that multiple times. So, like, that's so fucking creative. Now, see, the thing is, if they would add a cover so that you wouldn't see the sky through it, because it's not meant for you to actually see under this. The reason why they didn't do it is because that would require 3D flooring. And 3D floors are kind of wonky to work with anyway, and best avoided unless absolutely necessary. But yeah, like this is enough because you're not supposed to see it like from under it anyway. The way that 3D floors work in Doom, yeah, you would imagine like, oh, you just put something on top of it, but that's not how it works in Doom. In Doom, what you need is you need to make a sector. So you basically have to draw a shape outside of the map to reference the 3D floor. I know it sounds really weird because Doom doesn't really have like 3D in terms of like multiple floors. That's why it's called a 3D floor. So you need to make a sector outside of the map, and then like these individual sections, like in between each line, like as you can see the skybox in between, that is also a sector. And then outside of the map, you need to tag the line with the same tag you would use here. So for example, for the floor, the sector outside of the map, you give it tag 1. Then here you also give this sector also tag 1, and then give the property of 3D floor to the sector outside of the map, and then you elevate it to the height that you need it to be. So yeah, it's really wonky to work with, and that's basically how you do it. I know there's a lot of explaining, but it is indeed tedious, and that's why they didn't do it, because otherwise you'd have to do it for every single thing here. See, the thing is, I know how to mold Doom. Like, I could recreate this, like, if I had the sprites and everything. Like, these, for example, these plants are basically sprites or things that they put in there. They can do it 2 ways. Either they make it a thing, which has, like, how would I say it? Like, somewhat of a hitbox, really, right? So you can walk, like, on top of it, or they can block you. But considering that I can walk through these won't be things, or they just didn't add a height and a width to the thing, so the easier way would just to be having it as a sprite. So it's just a line on the map that you draw, and then you give that line the visual that you need, which are these drawn textures, or this in general, and that's it. And they just like put them around a bit everywhere, and they do the same things for the plants here. Now, considering, although hang on, I'm tripping. Okay, never mind, these are not lines. These are things, okay, these are things, but then without a height and a width. What I mean with thing is a placeable object. The reason why I can see that it is a thing is because it always looks at me, even though I'm like at a different angle, right? So objects, when they have only one sprite, they will always look at you. And that's basically what's happening here. So you don't really see other things from the side. Whereas Isabel, for example, being my little, thing here, is also, a thing, but she has different angles, right? You can see that she has different angles. That's because they made more sprites for her, but also coded it so that she actually has these angles. Whereas the other ones here, or for example, whenever she's drawing, like as she was doing right there, that's only one sprite. See? So it's only one sprite without any angle, so that will always look at you. But yeah, 3D floors are really weird, and that's why I don't really like working with them, and usually having too many 3D floors will actually lag the engine out. So you want to avoid those as much as possible. For example, remember that one map that we played together? The Doom 2 remake where it was like in a city? Remember that when it was like in a town kind of thing, and there was a lot of different houses? the reason why it lagged that much was not necessarily because of the amount of monsters there, because those are actually very tame in terms of graphical demand, so to say, right? The reason why it was lagging so much is because all of those houses had 3D floors in it, and that's why it lagged so much. Yeah, well, I can show the map, but I want to complete this one first. But it's from a different mod, so I will have to look for it. But yeah, there was this town basically, and there were a lot of houses, and all of them had 3D floors. Dude, like, how fucking crazy is... See, again, the Doom modding community deserves way more fucking praise, though. Look at this. Again, just think about it. This is literally the Doom engine, right? So those visuals have all been added later, and that's basically people having made those things. They individually made those graphics and then just, slapped it into. This is how flexible Doom is. Okay, a perfect example of 3D floors. Let's see if these are 3D floors. Okay, no, never mind. So yeah, these aren't 3D floors, but you could do it. But basically, it's the same way that they did it here for those parasol thingies at the beach. It's just basically textures that they have added and then just drag this up, basically. But yeah, what I'm gonna do is actually, you guys want to see something about Doom and 3D floors? Do I still have Doom Builder? Doom Builder, fuck. Well, it's not that it is a big thing anyway. Doom Builder. Like we can, I can show you just a little bit. Doom Builder map editor, downloads. As again, it is really simple. Anyone can pick it up. It is very straightforward. In terms of just map building specifically, not necessarily 3D for like fuck that. You don't even need that, to be honest. But I'm just gonna do that real quick. By the way, alcohol-free beer is literally a gift from God. Reason why I say that is not only is it cheap, it's also healthier, so to say, because I'm not really allowed to drink alcohol, so... Yeah, it is, Quan. Fuck you. It is healthier than regular beer. Fuck you. You will not do that to me. That is a fact, okay? Behold, Doom Builder. This is where the magic happens. It wouldn't be for me, though. That would definitely not. That wouldn't, milk, though? I don't know. I wouldn't want that, though. Milk, in general, funnily enough, I am selective lactose intolerant. I don't know how that works. Oh yeah, banana milk though, that's something that I would, what I would like. Unless Quan is like, haha, you like banana milk, but actually is making a pun of penis. You like penis milk. Yeah, fuck you, Quan. I know what you're thinking. Okay, so let's see. So you guys probably see this and are freaking the fuck out. But yeah, this is again how intensive Doom mapping can be, especially when you know try to do things in Doom mapping in general. These are all individual lines drawn by human hand. That's literally it. I mean, this is just how crazy, just how many fucking lines there are, and each line has a purpose, so... I'm just trying to figure out which map that it was that we used, or that we last played. Which one was that? Was that 7? There we go. Yeah, see, so this is the beach map, right? Or the map that we just played. So, okay, let's see if we can find that one part with the parasol things. Yeah, see? So this is basically, see, these are all individual lines, as you can see. See, like, I highlight them, and then you can see just these are all individual line depths, as we would call them. And how they work is basically like this. So don't mind those blue thingies in between. These are vertexes to basically separate all the lines from one another so that they can all do these things or have their individual properties. It's basically just dividing things from one another. But yeah, as you can see, like all these things have their own, all these lines, see, they're all in there. And what they did is they added a texture. This one basically, or where you can't see it, fuck. But you can kind of see like on the bottom at least. So on the bottom you see like the front side dev and a back side dev, and then they gave it the texture of 16 med R. That's basically a name that they give to the texture. They can name it whatever they want. And that's basically it. So that front and back both show this texture. So for example, if I would select all of these, which is what I'm going to do. So if I select all of these and then replace rather, all these with, for example, yeah, I'm just gonna turn these all to whites. Right? So in this case, all things here, all these line defs are now white. So that's basically what happens here, see? So these are all individual lines with their individual textures. And how they got it to that height is literally just by dragging it up or just giving it the value that they want. But easier would just be to move this thing up and down. See, I know how to map things. I know how to doom things. Not only how to play it, but also how to make it. I would be able to recreate this, like, fairly easily. The only thing that I would need is the sprites. That's always the issue that I have most of the time when I do modding, is that I am not creative as in to draw things. So when people do sprites, or if I have sprites to work with, then that's going to be fine. And remember when I said about those things, those plants, remember that? Like, these are basically here, but they don't show up on the map because Doom Builder sometimes just doesn't load them. It's also easier to see. You can also set certain settings, but it's easier to put it like this so that you can see what you're placing, because otherwise it will just block out, all your stuff. Visually, that is. But see, all these little circles here, those are basically all things or objects that they have placed here, and those are all plants, basically. Now, remember about that thing called 3D floors. So, what you would need for... Oh, wait. Do they have 3D floors? Okay, no, wait. Maybe. Wait, what did they do here? Let me figure this one out. What did they do here? I'm just checking out. Okay, so these are basically teleporters. So these are teleporters outside of the map so that whenever shit happens, or where monsters need to be teleported, that they are then, well, basically teleported into the game. Because they've already been there the entire time. They just teleport in at the right time whenever it is asked for these dudes to be pushed in to teleport in. Yeah, so, well, 3D floors kind of work the same, as in you need to have them outside of the thing, but okay, let me do a little example here. So for a 3D floor, you just basically need some kind of a sector to work with, and a sector always consists of like 4 interconnected, or 3 even, interconnected things that you have a surface to work with. So this, for example, would be a sector. I'm just gonna see, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, this is the Doom format, meaning that you cannot even make 3D floors in this format. So what the creator has done here is use a simplified version of Doom to do their things, which is absolutely fine. It's just that if you don't need it, then indeed there's no point in, getting a more intensive format in order to do more things. But essentially, how it works is you give this thing the property of 3D floors. It's been a while though since I've done this, so I'm just gonna... I don't think I can even find it here. Because with the thing, I don't even think that there is a way to have a 3D floor thing in here. Yeah, no. Okay, whatever. So basically, you should be adding a thing in here that is basically functioning as your 3D floor, so that it selects this thing as your 3D floor. Then you have a sector here that you also need to tag in whatever tag that you need it to be. And usually it's always handy to just use new tags so that you don't overwrite or accidentally overwrite already existing tags. So we have this tag 258. What we would then need to do is change the heights of this thing in particular. Like, this is the sector, right? So for a floor, you usually need a very small width of a floor, right? So that would basically be it. Something about this. right? That's all that you need so that people can step on said floor about this width. Now for the heights, you want to make it as, or like at the same heights where you need it to be on the map. So let's say, for example, that the height would be about here-ish, something along those lines. I know, we're getting complicated, I know. So now that it is at that height, we need to see what tag was it, 258. Then we need to go to whatever tag on the map or whatever part of the map that you want to have that 3D floor on, and then set that thing also to tag 258. And that's how you do 3D floors. So yeah, I know it is very complicated just to get a floor in, but that's basically it. Wait, isn't there a thing that I can do? There we go. See, this is... See, if I put it like this, see? But actually, but yeah, that's basically it. That's how you do 3D floors, more or less. But this doesn't have the format for 3D floors. But that's how you do it. TLDR, how to make 3D floors in Doom. 1, have the right formats. 2, make a sector outside of the map. And 3, give that a tag and an item to reference this sector in particular as a 3D floor. Then step 4 would be going to the actual part in the map that you want that 3D floor to be in and give that the same tag as a sector outside of the map. And that's it. It's really tedious. So that's why 3D floors, keep it at a bare minimum, please. But hey there, Olivier, what's up? Yeah, thing is, I know how to create this, basically. But yeah, it takes a while, as you can see, like all these separate lines. Like each map probably took about, like depends of course on the skills of the person, but considering all these crazy things, I would say that this probably took like a month or something for a map. On average, something like that, because again, you need a lot of things to work with. Or maybe not a month, maybe a couple of weeks. Because you also need to have the idea for what you want the map to be like, and then literally draw it and then try to work out whatever bugs on each map. So yeah, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on the time or availability of said person that made this. But yeah, it's quite crazy. So my strength doesn't really lie in map building. I know how to make maps. There are maps that I have made. But yeah, they aren't as detailed as this, so my strength in Doom shenanigans comes actually in coding. Which sounds weird, right? But I am better at coding Doom things than I am at making the maps.